Good evening, good afternoon, whoever you find yourself in this weird, wild, wacky world of ours, and welcome to the exciting installment of Darkness in Dublin. This evening's scene takes place on the waterfront of Dublin city proper, out on the docklands, where you can hear the sound of the waves lapping against the pier. It's an oddly calming sound as the rain drops pitter-patter on the concrete street below. It's a funny world when it is you haven't seen it age and grow. After all, many of you, the last thing you remember, you still had oil lamps and electricity was a marvel of the new age, and now here it is everywhere. Cars, you might have seen one or two, but now they lurch and loom, machines that belch out smoke and exhaust like nobody's business. The world seems to have changed and gotten itself in a big hurry all of a sudden. And you two, well, you've been left behind. Your bodies were unearthed when they were working on a housing project, and needless to say, unseen, unobserved, they were almost sent to the landfill. But fortunately, all the heaving and hoaching, the moving and the maneuvering, well, it knocked the stake or the piece of wood from one of your chests, and you were able to free the other. Though the world, it's not the same as you remember it. It's drastically, drastically different. Now you are both, you had nowhere really to go. You didn't really know anyone. Hell, people you might have known, well, they're all dead. So you decided to try and find somewhere at least to stay out of the rain. That was a couple of days ago, and so you found yourself to an abandoned warehouse. You guess at one point it used to make some kind of some kind of engine, maybe, because the place smells and stinks of oil, and it's got dozens of machine parts that are just laying around. But here you find yourself sitting on a dreary evening. Occasionally, you've managed to stalk out and find someone to siphon off some blood, but hunger is definitely starting to set in. And we join our two newly awakened oxygenarians, as it is. They sit huddled in a very damp, unpleasant, squalid situation. So we will begin from there.
What do you think this place was? What is all this stuff? I can't even begin to imagine. There's just so much going on. It's so much different. I don't know. This new world, it's scary.
You get used to it after living as long as I have.
I don't know if I can ever get used to this. Big metal creatures everywhere. It's just so much. I don't even have the words.
At least they're not tanks. God knows I've seen enough of them.
Tanks?
War. Giant metal constructs that shoot metal at fast speeds and can decimate someone.
That's right. I forgot about those.
Unseen, as neither of you have the ability to see through their shrouds and their masks, you're not alone. A number of figures cluster around until such point as both Catherine and would you prefer your character to go by Tobias or Tommy? It's up to you.
Either or.
That's fine. You feel a sharp point pressed into the back of your chests, both of you from opposite sides, and you can see, because you two are standing or sitting facing each other, behind each one of you there is a gnarled, disgusting face. Many of them bearing odd features, elongated, monstrous, and otherwise unworldly. If you've ever seen Nosferatu, there are two of them that each have a stake pressed into the back of your chest, but they haven't struck.
What are you
So they
doing
have-
here?
That's rather the question we were going to ask you, my dear. For the record, I will attempt to remember again. You will see this figure, who is going to flash in and out of existence, step into the small amount of light that the light above you creates. He has the white face mask is very odd. It seems to drink in the light. So even as you look into the eye sockets of the mask itself, you can't see his eyes. He's not very tall. He's only about 5'2", to be exact. He's not physically imposing, but he stands with an air of confidence and authority. And he says, "We were wondering why it is you're here, and who it is you are."
Well, we didn't really have anywhere else to go. You see, we've been asleep for quite a long time. I don't even know how long it's been, but it must have been a long time. And we just found our way here, trying to seek shelter.
So you're not members of the Sabbat.
I don't even know what that is. I've lost a lot of memories, it seems, and I'm having a lot of trouble. And I don't mean no harm, mister. I swear we don't. We're just trying to find a safe place to go and looking for some more of our kind.
The masked face, those deep black sockets of eyes, turn and they look at Tobias, kind of like his head cocks to the side. "And you? Who are you?" "She does most of the talking, I see."
Yes, she's good at that. I prefer to stay silent.
Needless to say, we wouldn't have found you, but there were a handful of people who were complaining about being attacked by vagrants, and we tend to find people rather easily when it is we have somewhere to look. So,
Wouldn't be the first time I was called a vagrant.
where are my manners? I think that I should start with introductions. My name is Vincent Hennessy. It is a pleasure to meet both of you.
The pleasure is all mine. My name is Catherine Voss of the Elite Voss of New Orleans. I don't know if you've heard of them, but I would quite like to get in touch with my brother. He lived around here at one point.
He's probably dead.
Don't say that. Don't you dare say that.
Hennessy moves one gloved hand, and the two Nosferatu step back so they're not pressing the stakes into your basically into your spines anymore.
Thank you.
Interesting. Interesting. You said that you'd been asleep. What was the last date you remember?
It was February or March. We didn't really keep track of days where we came from. The year had to have been early 1921.
Well, I can assure you in that case your brother is dead. The year is currently 2021.
Excuse me? Excuse me?
He
You
will
said-
take...
I told you he was dead.
No. No. It can't be.
Hennessy reaches into his pocket. He withdraws a phone. Obviously, phones are... You've seen people use them. They're like these odd little things that they hold in their hands. But he will tap a button and he will show you the date.
Please get that away from me. Please get it away from me. That thing has to be a bomb.
Amusing. No, I can assure you it is in fact not a bomb. However,
And
Ultimately,
how would I know that?
hmm?
And how would I know that?
Because I'm telling you. Now then, the question remains what to do with you both. You see him drum on the with his mask with the fingers of his gloved hand, and he says, "What clan do you hail from?"
The Ravnos, but we got separated from a lot of them. We were with some gypsies that roam around these parts.
Interesting. I haven't seen a Ravnos since. That's neither here nor there. But needless to say, you find yourself in the domain of the Prince of Dublin, Prince Thrain of Clan Venture, to which have the honor of serving as the city's seneschal. You also happen to find yourself in my personal domain, which is why I am having this conversation with you for infringing upon it, though I sense that you did so in ignorance, which means I have no need to chastise you for the breach of the tradition.
Yes, sir. I don't mean anyone any harm. We can leave this place if you would wish us to, but we're just trying to find shelter. That's all.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Have you seen any of the other Ravnos or gypsies that we might could get in contact with?
Gypsies, yes. Your kind have become exceptionally rare since the week. Well, that is a lot of information, and it will take me more time than I'm willing to allot standing in a dripping and dreary warehouse. Let me contemplate for a moment.
What do you mean, rare?
Hmm?
What do you mean, rare?
As in not common.
Yeah, that answers my question, thank you.
Are you always so snarky?
You get used to it.
Watch your mouth, Tommy.
I turned you, not the other way around.
Hmm. Hennessy stands for a moment. He has his hand on the lower section of his mask because he appears to be thinking. And he'll say, "Very well. I have no idea what to do with the pair of you. You're not Sabbat, you're not infiltrators, you're not denizens of this city, and you're not subjects of the domain. So, I am faced with only three possibilities. One, that you come with me and I attempt to see if we can find your relatives or next of kin. Two, that you are immediately and henceforth expelled from the domain, and we drive you to the city limits and throw you out to meet the dawn. I personally am not much in favor of this. I don't like getting my hands dirty. And three, the other option is that we acclimatize you and we see about getting you up to speed to a modern world before it is you decide what to do. Now, I'm personally in favor of this third option because what can I say? I'm a merciful soul.
Well, that would be much appreciated. Any help at this point is much obliged.
Fine. Abdul. Yes, sir. One of the this Nosferatu is built like a brick shithouse. He's about 6'8", and you must weigh over 400 pounds of solid muscle. Take them to the safe house located on Cleary Street. I'll arrive shortly, and we'll do what we can. Yes, Mr. Hennessy. Whatever you say, sir. He looks down at the two of you, and he says, "Will you follow Abdul, please?"
Whatever you say. We'll go. Get out of your hair.
Right? Abdul walks. He's got a very kind of ponderous gait, so he kind of sways side to side as he walks. He will lift up a sewer grate and he will point downwards.
I am not going in there.
I just push her in.
Well, that was graceless. Okay. You fall about 15 feet. It's fine, you're a vampire. You'd half any bashing damage you take into raw sewage.
I am not going in there.
He pushed you in. I didn't push you in. Abdul just kind of looks at Thomas, and there's a shrug, like, that works.
It's better than hearing her argue for 50 minutes.
Is there any running water, or is it stagnant?
It's raw sewage. Mostly industrial stuff going from the various industrial plants around here. So not like human fecal matter or waste, but definitely a lot of weird ass chemicals.
Please, there has to be some other way. Ruining my good dress. Oh.
There are new clothes at the safe house.
See, you see? Everything will work out eventually.
I am not wearing whatever these other girls are wearing.
Who are these other girls?
All these girls today that I'm seeing out on the street in almost in knickers, I am not wearing that. I could see one lady's brassiere. I'm not doing this. This is too much. This is too much. This is too much.
Abdul will just shrug at this point, and he, with one large hand, he will put her over his shoulder, and she's going down.
Oh, let go of me!
Do you do that wonderful, like, beating your hands against his back kind of thing?
Yes, I am. This
Press
is
A.
not how you treat a lady.
Press A, indeed a wiggle.
If it helps, he will continue to carry you when you're down there, so you do not touch the raw ick.
Put me down. This is not how you treat a lady.
You just said that you didn't want to interact with the sewage.
I don't. I want to be out of this mess.
Then shut up, and this will go all the quicker.
It's not how you talk to a lady. But it's with all of you in this day and age.
Bear in mind, I was perfectly willing to kill a lady upstairs if I'd been given the nod. Don't push my patience.
Well then.
The other Nosferatu, who's much smaller and skinnier, kind of sniggers, like, "Oh, it's nice to meet you too. My name's Enigma. Nice to meet you. Hi." He kind of waves, even though you're on the back of Abdul, so he kind of waves up at you a little bit, like, "Hi."
I wish it was under better circumstances.
I mean, if it helps, the boss doesn't have to be nice. He's taking you so that he can, like, clean off the crap and help you start over, I guess. But he doesn't have to.
Does it have to be like this?
Well, yeah, because we can't really walk around up there. So we're just taking you the way that we know.
Fine.
It's just a bit of sewage, not like you're gonna get sick from it.
He's right. I mean, okay. And for the record, his phone wasn't a bomb. It was, and he goes into a long list of what a phone actually.
Phone?
Yeah, phone.
That is not a phone.
Just because it's not what you understand doesn't make it necessarily incorrect.
That can't be a phone. It's not even connected to anything.
I mean, technically, that's not exactly correct, but okay. Hang on. Give me a second. He pulls out. He opens his coat, and you see he's got like about 10 phones on his person that are in little pockets on the inside of his coat, different brands, different makes. Hang on. 1 second. Yeah. Okay. You see really long, nimble fingers play across the screen. What?
I just dislike this. I don't like this.
Here, he very gently. He doesn't like force it towards your face, but he holds it up for you to look. And there's a picture of an adorable kitten playing with a ball on his phone.
Can you please put that thing away?
Oh, I was just trying to make you feel comfortable. I'm sorry.
No, doing a very good job of that.
Oh,
No, please continue. I'm enjoying this.
You shut your mouth, Tommy.
About 20 minutes will pass as you trudge through the sewers before Abdul will turn a corner and he will. Have you seen the movie The Princess Bride?
Yes.
Yes.
He will what I will refer to as Fezzik climb, aka climb a ladder whilst you are still slung over his shoulder without seeming to care. Up into there's a rather heavy duty clamp on the top of the ladder proper that he uses one hand to rotate before it pops up. And he will climb up. You will all find yourselves when you eventually climb up the ladder in what looks to be an underground. It looks to be a basement of a house, but it's filled with it's filled with basically IT gear. So there's a lot of monitoring software and equipment. There's the feed from multiple security cameras. It basically looks like a security hub. Then Abdul will close the really heavy duty manhole cover, lock it, and twist the thing down again until you hear a satisfying.
I think this is a trap, Tommy. I think this is a trap. All these bombs everywhere.
Technology has advanced since we've been asleep. Just go with it.
I very much don't think you understand the fact that if we had wanted you dead, you would be dead.
But how can I trust anything you are saying?
Because you're still alive. Now then, if you would please come this way. He will walk you up a pair of rather rickety steps. Basically a rather rickety set of stairs. You can hear every step you step on with a kind of a But then when you step out into the main room, you will find yourself in a very Baroque style entrance hall. There's a front door to the house, which what is clearly a house, right in front of you. So you basically emerge from a door that comes out from under the stairs. And you find yourself in a very lavish, upmarket style hallway that has very thick carpet underfoot, a lot of white and gilded surfaces. Everything looks perfectly clean and presentable. It's very, very pretty. Portraits hang on the wall, etc.
What is this place? Where are we anyway?
You're currently in Chestnut Grove, one of Mr. Hennessy's homes.
But where are we? I don't even know what city I'm in anymore.
Oh, you are currently in Dublin.
I sure am a long way from home, aren't I?
Home is where you hang your hat. He will lead you into a very very nice sitting room that has a number of very comfortable leather chairs. And once again, there are very very fine portraits and artwork on the wall. It has a very low dim lighting, so it's a very pleasant room. There are many bookshelves in here that are filled with books on, kind of like the classics and art, philosophy, things like that. Things that you would assume a kind of an upmarket academic would read. And he will leave you in the room.
I'm not sitting down until I can change out of these clothes.
If you would care to give Abdul your sizes, he will find something appropriate.
I assume the
Whatever
bottom.
you have that would fit a small lady, thank you.
What was that, Thomas? Sorry?
I assume the bottom half of my clothes is just covered in sewage.
Yes.
I just shrug and tell Abdul my sizes.
That's fine. Abdul will leave.
Tommy, I don't trust these people.
You don't trust anything unfamiliar.
Right now, I don't.
Well, if they wanted to kill us, they could have done it easily back there.
Yeah, and they could do it now, too.
Well, either we take them up on their offer, or we take our chances on our own. And between you and me, I do not want to be introduced to the sun.
Fine.
Trust me, I've seen what happens, and it is not pretty.
You know what's not pretty? I'll show you what's not pretty.
Keep growling.
Shut your mouth, Tommy.
No, then I'm sure that all of this bicker-back is entirely unnecessary. Welcome to one of my humble homes. The Seneschal closes there's a large double door behind him that appears to lead into some kind of dining room, and he closes it behind him. Abdul has been sent in order to acquire suitable clothing for you both. Do either of you still partake in food, or do you not?
I prefer clean eating.
I have no idea what that means in context.
Just someone clean and healthy.
If you subsist only on blood, you can just say that. It's far less complicated.
Yes, please. I hate that term.
She's still not used to the whole fangs thing.
Shut your mouth, Tommy.
That's fine. There are a number of blood dolls who serve my house here. You are free to use them at your leisure as long as you do not feed on them to the point that it would render them useless. I don't mind.
Please.
What? I am deathly confused.
At this point, I'll take whatever you have, okay?
Oh, very, very good. I will introduce you to them when we are done having a conversation. So, he sits in a chair. You will see he has a teacup in his hands that he lifts to the white of his mask, around where his mouth would be, and you see him drain some of the tea, despite the fact that you never see his lips.
What is this sorcery?
I beg your pardon?
What is
She means the
this
drinking without
sorcery?
the mask coming off.
Did you say, is that sorcery? I didn't quite hear you.
Yes, is that sorcery?
Why, yes. It was made for me by a friend in Clan Tremere about 300 years ago.
I don't like them. They are of the devil. Quit laughing at me. I have my beliefs and you have yours.
Yes.
Yet you're a vampire.
I have
Technically
my
speaking,
beliefs and
if you
have
read
yours.
the old stories, we're all of the devil. You know, children of Cain, all that excellent, good old mythology.
I don't believe those stories.
Yes, whatever you choose to believe. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So, both of you are somewhat out of the time, and I assure you, Miss Voss, was it?
Yes. Of the New Orleans
That
Falls.
that all technology is not out to kill you.
Not all? Does that mean some of it is?
That depends. I personally wouldn't like to get on the business end of a grenade, but then again, that's me.
Oh, well. I guess it's good to know those are still around.
Are those things still made out of big balls of iron? Or have they actually made them more throwable?
Your
Yes.
violent tendencies.
Needless to say, I don't have time to answer the questions as to how the world has changed. However, I will have the resources, books, the internet, etc., made available to you.
The what now?
I'll have Enigma explain the internet to you. It would take me far too long, and I don't particularly want to. So, with this in mind, this house, for the time being, until such time as you both find yourself on your feet, you may consider to be yours. You can come and go as you please. If you require to shelter in during the day, so be it. There are several bedrooms upstairs. Ultimately, I believe that you came here for the purposes of Providence, or through the will of Providence, and through the, shall we say, the machinations of fate. And I'm not someone who tends to like to play against the machinations of fate. So, I'm offering you what small help I can. Also, because I happen to be somewhat soft-hearted in these matters, which is the reason why, as I said, neither of you are dead, because I like to think that you are indeed telling me the truth, and that we shall all advance from here as friends. Do we have any questions?
Way too many questions. Thank you.
You always have questions.
Right.
Look, I am scared. I don't know where I am, or who I can trust, or what this world has even come to. So if you'll excuse me, I would just like to eat and rest. And change clothes.
As you wish. I will have rooms prepared for you both upstairs. You may sleep or rest, and when it is you've regathered yourself, then you can begin asking your questions in earnest. In the meantime, I give you both permission to remain within the domain of Dublin City, as is my right and the authority of my office as Seneschal.
Obliged, thank you.
I beg your pardon?
Much obliged, thank you.
You're very welcome. So, as I said, your rooms will be upstairs. I don't think that I need to leave anyone here to be your handler, though Enigma tends to work downstairs. Just knock on the door if you require anything from him. As I said, we will make the resources available to you so that you may come to understand and acclimatize yourself to your current surroundings.
Could you please show us the way? We are quite lost in this place.
Abdul. Yes. For the record, you didn't know Abdul was in the fucking room. He just talks from directly behind you.
I jump and almost punch him.
That's what Obfuscate 4 does. So yes, there's that one for a moment. Bah! If it helps, he
Please
has a
don't
very.
do that again.
If it helps, he has a very pretty dress in his hands, and it is the kind of dress that you would be familiar with. In period.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And he has a suit, which he can give to Thompson.
Do you happen to have any shoes?
What size?
Just a women's heel and some pantyhose. Thank you.
I will have them brought. They will be left outside your door.
Thank you very much.
Abdul will lead you upstairs. Your rooms are sumptuous. They have 4-poster beds and all of the amenities you could want. They have a television, but, God knows that's a demon box. So, it's fine.
We've slept for 100 years, but it feels like we haven't slept at all.
All right, kids. And with all of that, I believe that we shall call our intro scene to an end. So thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another Scene in Darkness and Dublin. Have a pleasant evening.